Everyone. Welcome to On Angel Wings, where we come on and talk about angels on Mondays. And today is Monday. It's a beautiful day to be together as a family and share with each other. I'm Teri Angel. I'm here with my co-host, Christina Leftwich. Hi, Christina.
Hello, welcome everybody. So
So,
exciting.
so good to see you safe there in Michigan after all of the traumatic stuff that's been going on there with the weather. So I'm really happy that you're here and able to be with us today. And we have power and internet and everything.
It's very lucky.
Yeah. And our family that's here to talk about angels tonight. We have our Auntie Jean. Luz, so good to see you back with us, Luz. Welcome. Cassandra, you too. My heart just raced when I saw you come in because I just love your energy. Thank you for being with us. And Charlie, you figured it out.
I'm not home, so I had one Wi-Fi. Now I'm at another. I'm in the car, but I'm going to sit down now with Erica. I just got us connected. We're down by I don't know where she went.
We're in search of Erica.
Oh yeah, we're down by the water, so we're at the Salt Cave.
Right.
Oh, cool.
We have Catherine with us. Catherine Kovacs, welcome.
And good evening, everyone.
Hi, honey. And Grace Isis is with us. Hello, Missy. You can't hide from us. We see you're there.
She's always incognito.
I know. And online we have Lynn Marie.
Hi, is Erica in there?
And Andrea, Greg, hello and welcome. We're trying to retrieve Erica. So welcome everybody.
She's in the Salt Cave.
In the Salt Cave, okay. All right. So let's get with what we're doing.
What's that? You got to take off your shoes and.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Do I
Shadi,
need the boots?
Shadi, I'm going to mute you and you can unmute when you're ready to talk. All right. So we're here to talk about angels. And Christina, let's just get right to it. What do you think?
Well, we'll just let everybody know that Teri and I kind of had a talk, and we've been doing an angel every single week, and we're kind of decide to change things up a little bit and do it maybe by a topic or a theme. And for instance, tonight we decided to do how angels can support us. But really, any topic about angels at all, even in a vague way, we would love to touch base and have a place of discussion and information. So we invite everyone first and foremost that after tonight, if you could leave just in the comments or just let one of us know maybe some ideas that you might have of some things you might want to learn in the future too. So we can kind of get everybody's input.
Yeah, and I see these as more discussion. So, we're going to bring some information from our experience with the angels, but we also want to hold a discussion about the angels and each week talk about a different aspect. And I love what we're doing tonight. How do they support us? So, Christina, what you got for us?
Okay, so here I'm going to share my screen here with you.
Let me make you co-host.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I know, I keep forgetting to do that. There we go.
It's all right. We can do this.
Should be good.
All right. All right. And here we go. Can everyone see this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do angels support and help us? Well, to put it as simply as possible, in every way and in every day. So there really wasn't just a single example that I could particularly come up with of where angels could not be of help. So, and that's truly not an exaggeration. So sometimes angels come to us in ways that we think that they are, and sometimes we don't even maybe necessarily know we're speaking to an angel or hearing from an angel or interacting with an angel until after it's all said and done. So, you know, but they're always there, and they always are knowing that we're part of the divine plan, and they're here to help us, as long as it's for the greater good. But this is rule number one. There's really no rules except for this one, which is we need to ask. We need to ask. We can ask them anything, but because of our own free will, they can't come in and swoop in most occasions, because we have been given our own free will. And we are to act upon that as our human experience. And that is what separates us from angels, is our human experience. So, but we will get into some of the many ways that angels can help support us. And hopefully this will open us up for ideas and discussions that we could have. So one of the very first ones I thought of was protection from negative energy, whatever that may mean. And oftentimes we see Archangel Michael in this with his protection and shielding. He also helps us overcome fears and helps us with obtaining our own courage, and helps to bring about a more peaceful and loving perspective. Another way would be letting go, endings, or new beginnings. And oftentimes Archangel Uriel, it might be who we will interact with in this area, clearing what no longer serves us and helping to find the right therapist, counselor, or other needed health professional if we are having trouble move forward. So angels are great allies when we experience any difficulties or changes, which we all will inevitably experience in life. Help with finding lost items. So here we have Archangel Chamuel, who is said to be helpful in finding lost objects, even pets. I know that our dear Linda Lemieux, who is not here with us, is very good at helping along with that. And she often says that she speaks with Archangel Chamuel as well. The well-being and support of our loved ones. So Archangel Gabriel is said to be especially good with children and pets, but also working with angels for the well-being and support of our parents, our friends, our co-workers and associates, and even our entire planet. Smooth travel plans. So I'm sure Teri's got lots of things. I know we've discussed this with Teri, with having her angel mobile on her peace tour. Archangel Michael for protection, and Raphael is actually also associated with ensuring us smooth and less stressful travel experiences. So with like little hitches and hiccups, we can kind of just go through without those bumps and lumps. So whether long or short, by plane, train, automobile, a hike, a bike, it really doesn't matter. Our angels are with us whenever we travel. Test taking and attending important meetings. So Archangel Uriel can help us with clearing our minds and remaining focused. And Archangel Gabriel, the big, Gabriel is often shown with his horn and how he's sharing the good news with his horn. So he's a very integral angel with specializing in clear communication and ease of our conveyance of ideas, which certainly could be helpful in any meeting. Help with our empathic or intuitive abilities. So Archangel Haniel helps us to strengthen intuition, gain spiritual insight, and trust in our divine timing. Archangel Michael can help shield us from taking on too much of these energies from others or negativity, as far as that goes, as we navigate through our abilities and start honing in on our gifts. We can have that protection as we do that. In healing and reaching health goals. So Archangel Raphael is the angel of divine healing, and that can mean physical, mental, emotional. And Raphael is a support and ally to us all, including when we ourselves as healers may be involved with healing others, as well as our nurses, our doctors, and our scientists who are all helping with healing. So we can help with they can help us with our own self-esteem and healing our own self-esteem and to feel good about our bodies, because body image can really play a big part in how our healing physically can go. So it also helps us to stay on track with our health goals. So we can stay on track, we can feel the strength and courage to get through our day, the encouragement, and the cheerleading that we sometimes need. These angels can be when we're going through, whether it be nutrition goals, exercise goals, any of our health goals. Harmonious relationships. So Archangel Raguel can help with the healing of romantic relationships, and also in seeing in the truth in our relationships, whether that truth happens to be comfortable or uncomfortable. Sometimes they say that the truth shall set you free, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable. Help in creating harmony, trust, and peace in relationships, and to help learn lessons that are meant to be learned for us individually. Archangel Hanuel can help in companionship and connection with others, in addition to not just the romantic relationships, but in our other relationships with friends and families, and even our coworkers. So we can ask for help basically in any area of our life. There's no need to know what angels to call to help, and nothing is too big. Nothing is too small. None of that. For us to ask help. There's nothing that we cannot ask for help. So we can ask for an angel of parking, writing, marketing, caregiving, organizing, clarity, hiking, creating, teaching, pregnancy, dreaming, inventing. The cleaning angels. Oh boy, I wish they'd come more often. Grief, gardening, growth, research, parenting, death and dying, and not least of all, peace. But the main point I want you to take from all of this that I just threw at you is that we are never alone, and we are never without support, not without our angels. And so that's really the message I wanted to leave that with you all. So now I will send this back over to Teri, and I hope this just kind of spurs some thoughts in your own life and where you can think of where you may need more support, or maybe you could share with us where they have come and supported you already. That's always fun too. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and thank you for listening.
Beautiful. Thank you, Christina. That was awesome.
Right.
When I do teachings about the angels, I always try to emphasize what that experience might look like for you if you do come in contact with an angel and have one right there in your presence. So I'd like to share that I've always seen angels. I've always had them surrounding me my whole life. From every minute that I can remember anything, I saw them, I felt them, I sensed them, I heard them and talked to them, and they responded back to me. When I say I see them, I don't see like that humanoid body with wings. I see their energy. I see the shape. I see colors. I see the essence of these beautiful beings. And they have intervened in my life many times. When we talk about how they support us, that's been my whole life. I feel like I've had one with each elbow as I walk along in life. It's like those angels are going wherever I go and helping with whatever happens in my life. I've had many times when they kept me from going over a cliff when I'm really going over a cliff. When I was a teenager, I believe I was maybe 15, 16 years old. And two of my girlfriends and I were in a car, and one of the girlfriends was driving, and the drive shaft went out. Something happened and it just broke or came loose. The car was spinning around in the road, and we were on this mountain road because I grew up in the mountains here in Kentucky. And as we were spinning around, you could see how close we were getting to the edge of the cliff to go over the mountainside. And I mean, I'm sure we were all screaming. I don't remember the screaming part. I just remember praying and calling on the angels that I knew were right there to help us to stay on the road, for it to not to be a disastrous ending when we came to a halt. And it wasn't. We came up to the other side of the mountain where there was like solid rock, and we didn't go over the cliff, but I knew it could have gone that other direction. It could have gone that way. It just wasn't our time. It wasn't time for us to stop being here on this planet, thank God. And that's just one example. In all of my many years of being here, they have kept me from harm. They have guided me. They have shown me things and helped me to see more clearly my path that I'm on. So I'd like to just have anybody that would like to unmute and to share what your experience is with angels supporting you. Do any of you have an example of how they have intervened and worked in your life? I'd love to open this and let's have a discussion about that.
Okay, I have my experience with my angels. I love them so much, but I don't like traveling. I really don't like traveling. And this time when I traveled, it was supposed to leave like at 1 o'clock. We ended up leaving like 2:30. And I'm in the plane. And the first thing I said was, I need my angels to calm me down, put me to sleep, do something, because I don't want to, I get sick and I feel like I have to use the bathroom, but I don't. But then I'm afraid to get off the plane. And then when I'm ready to get the plane, the light goes on. Lady says, can't move. And I'm like, oh God, do I really got to go? Oh my God, do I got to go? Should I get up? Should I not get up? So I asked her, but this time when I traveled to Florida to see Cassandra and my sister, I prayed on the way there. And it was amazing because I fell asleep and they guide me all the way there with just colors. Like I seen the bright yellow, with colors I never really even seen, because I always see the purple and I always see the blue, because I always say protection always cover me with a blue bubble. So there I was seeing the red, the yellow, the and almost the green. And I was like sleeping, but I was excited because I knew something was going on. And as I was sleeping, I was asking them questions and they were giving it to me in colors and stuff. So it was kind of like weird. And then in the mornings, I always misplace everything. So I'm in the morning, I'm in a rush going to work and I'm like, okay, where's my glasses? Angels, find my glasses. I don't know where they're at. And boom, they're right there. They show me my glasses. And if I'm in the garden and I'm having like a rough time, I'm like, could you please send me the angel of the garden, because I really need some help right now. Or if I'm working on doing like man's job, carpet job, like, oh, where's the angel carpentry? Come down with my father because he loved to build and stuff. I need you both here to help me and stuff. And I have to say that every time that has happened, I've been so blessed that I've known that they've been there, because my day has went very smooth and stuff. And my journey with angels has been very amazing to me. I've learned a lot about them and stuff. And everything you have shared is everything I already had knew, which it was great because it's all there. You know what I mean? I knew all the angels. I had took classes on them. So it was like amazing to like connect in an English version, because I do it in a Spanish class. People are like, but you're Spanish. I said, yeah, but it's like not everything they say I understand, because I was born in Puerto Rico but raised here. So I know Spanish, I can speak it and understand it. But when you're getting me in a class with a whole bunch of different people from different countries, and you know, their accent is so different. They're talking faster than me, and I talk fast, so they're talking faster than me. I'm like, okay, you know, so you know, I'll be like, Angels, you need to slow these people down. You gotta do something, because I'm lost in this class right about now. And I'm like telling my teacher, make sure you send me my homework, because I have to translate this thing before the class starts, so I know where I'm at. You know, so that's my point of view of my angels and stuff. But thank you. It was it was really good, Christine. Very good. Thank you, Teri.
Thank you for sharing. And yes, absolutely. We don't have to know a name. That's the beauty of it. We don't have to know which angel does what, even though it's really fun to do that and great to get to know them. But just like you were saying, angels, help me find my glasses. You know, angels, whatever it is that is needed. And thank you for sharing that support that you've had through them. I appreciate you sharing. Who's next? Well, let's say hello to people who are with us. Okay, Cassandra, let's say hello to Joan of Angels, who just joined in on YouTube. Hi, Joan, we love you so much. And we have Great Tool TV, who's been following some of the shows we do regularly. Thank you for being with us on YouTube. And Jyoti Pandy, I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize, but thank you for being here. And Jyoti says, seems like my angels want me to attend this video. It just popped up without me even recognizing it. Please send blessings energies here. Thank you. May God bless you all and everyone here. Love from Nepal. Thank you for joining us today. And yes, just feel into the energy and receive the blessings of these beautiful angels. Cassandra, please share with us.
Okay, so a lot of times I do talk to Archangel Jophiel, like when I've been wanting to like receive a message in my dream, and like I'm a really big dreamer. Like I could dream stories after stories after stories, and a lot of times like I know I could get messages through my dreams. So like I always speak to Archangel Jophiel, and I'm just like, okay, like I'm going through a really hard time right now, and I don't know how to like, you know, pass this right now. So if you could speak to me like through my dream, or like send me a message to really like guide me. And then like I would fall asleep, and then I'll have like the longest dream ever, back and forth, back and forth. And then what I remember from the dream, and I have to start writing things down because I know I receive a lot through my dreams. But it's like when I was dreaming, I got like a guide of, you know, remaining positive, and like how I was interpreting it was just like, you know, I'm going through a really hard time right now, but like if I keep going and I remain positive, then I'll just go past it. And it's been really helping me a lot. So like I speak to him a lot more often. And then like I like I didn't know that a lot of times I don't know that I have the angels with me, but like then I'll notice that I have them from my dreams, or like I could see like little I don't didn't know that they were angels at first, but I was like in my bathroom or around the house, I would see like little colors, and I'll see like turquoise, and it'll be mixed like with yellow and stuff like that. So like the other day I was pulling my archangel cards, and I had pulled out Archangel Sandalphon, which I really do love him because he's just like Archangel Metatron, and he was like a human at first. And so he's like really understanding. And then when I read the message, it was like to speak positive to yourself and like speak positive about everything that's happening around you. So, and then it said like he's a turquoise, and I was just like, oh wow, like I literally just seen you in my bathroom, like hello, I was just seeing you. And then I realized that like, and I realized that a lot, like when I read my cards and I see with the colors that they're at, or like when I used to hop on the call and like you guys used to say the colors. I used to be like, oh my God, like I seen that color, like that. I now confirmation, now I know that was my archangel, like, and it's been really helping me a lot. So that's why I'm grateful to be back on this call, because I was just on a phone call before this call, and then my phone call just crashed and like there was no connection. And I looked at the time and it was like 6:03, and I was like, oh my gosh, the call, I have to hop on. So it was like, get on this call today, and I was thinking about it this morning too. So I'm like so grateful to have you guys back in my life and to like learn more about the angels and really get back into my routine again, because I feel like it was needed a lot.
Oh, well, we are just so happy that you're back with us. We love your energy and we love you, and thank you for sharing that. And yeah, it's true. They're going to show themselves to us, whether it's through a stone and the color of that stone, or sending down pennies from heaven and letting us be aware of them to say, here, I see you. I know where you are. I'm giving you this little confirmation that I'm right here with you. Whatever it might be, they're always giving us signs. And a lot of times, before I even feel their energy present with me, I get chills. I call them the God chills or the God bumps. And the hair on your arm might stand up, and you just know that there's a presence there that's trying to get your attention and wanting you to be more aware of what's going on in your presence. So they'll show themselves, whatever it takes to get us to look up and pay attention and see them. Jean, did you want to share?
Well, excuse me. I was just thinking about the viewer who said that the show kept popping up. So she figured her angels, and that is one thing that they do. It is true that we have to ask them, because they can interfere, but they have a sneaky way of keep showing you something over and over again until you finally say, aha, there must be something important here. And so you look at it or you read it or whatever it is. So I think that's wonderful. And I'm like you, it's hard to explain to someone. I've never seen an angel, but I know what they look like because I feel them and I feel their energy, and I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's like, I know what they look like. I know what Uriel looks like. I know what Metatron looks like. I know what Michael looks like, but I can't say I actually saw him with my physical eyes. What I'm getting is in my heart and then, in my soul. Anyway, they've helped me all my life, and I didn't know they were there, but they have been watching over me. So, just because I've always asked them for help, even when I was too tiny and having so many problems, I would ask for help from what I call my father and the angels. And so they just stepped in, and there's so many. I wish I could name specific things, except maybe for the accident, but they've saved my life. I mean, I grew up in Segundo Barrio on the south side of El Paso with gangs and all kinds of things, and I lived. I mean, just this little half Anglo girl, half Anglo, half Mexican girl, and I survived without getting beaten to death or, I had gangs chase me home and stuff, but I survived, and I attribute that to my angels. So, they're beautiful.
Yes, they are, and you're beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And, it's trust. That's what it comes down to, trusting that what we know in our brain is what we will experience in our soul and our emotions and every bit of us, as we just have that faith that they're there. They're going to do what they say they're going to do, and they really do. I'd like to share a real story from one of my best friends back in Florida. She had gone on a trip to upstate New York from Florida, and they were driving. It was her and her mother and her grandmother. and her mother was in the passenger seat beside of her. Grandma was in the back seat. And all of a sudden, it was like fog everywhere. She couldn't see. Nobody could see the road. You all know how bad that can be when that heavy fog comes in. She said she just couldn't see anything at all, barely see the road. And then all of a sudden, this big truck, one of these big semis, passed her and pulled over, got in front of her. And on the back of the truck, where the taillights are, there were angel wings. It was in the shape of angel wings, the red. So it let her follow it all the way through that fog to where they came to a turnoff, and he turned off. And she said her mother was even down in the floorboard, like, I can't watch. This is going to be bad. I can't even look. And so she was able to safely get through that weather. And then the truck pulled off, it exited. That she said, she told her mom, we're okay. This guy led us out of here. And her mom looks over and she goes, what guy? There's nothing there. And nobody could see the truck. It just like it vanished into thin air. And none of the three of them saw it, but she saw those angel wings, and that's what got her through. So Archangel Michael, he does that all the time. He guides, he leads, he's helping us to find that path that's going to keep us safe when we think that, there's no way we're going to get out of this one. And I've had that as well. I've had it where I couldn't see on the road, and I just had to trust. There's nothing more you can do than just say, all right, if I make it, I make it, and I'm trusting that I will, and you're guided through, because that's what Michael does. He's the protector and the guardian, and always there when we need him. And you don't even have to remember that it's him. Just remember there is an angel that guides, and there's an angel that protects you. And that is our beautiful Archangel Michael. So who else would like to share? Anybody? Christina, are you trying to unmute? Your hand doing this.
I've got a little critter walking around my camera.
I was wondering what that was. I thought it was your hand.
But I will share something. And this is also a friend of mine. And he's a gruff older guy. I got to tell you, he's real gruff. He's got a beard that's down to like here. Before beards were in, he's had a beard his whole life, right? And he's not a particularly religious guy, I wouldn't say necessarily. And he said, well, he surprised me one day because he said, oh, I totally believe in angels. Let me tell you a story of what happened to me. And he had been out camping, and they had just gotten done. He and his wife were, and his wife did, by the way, confirm this story. That the two of them were out, and they just pitched their tent, got everything all ready to go. And my friend said he heard, move the tent. He said he looked around. He's like, I don't know. And he looked at his wife and said, did you just hear somebody talking? It must be somebody by, I must have just heard someone next to us that's in the campground or something. And he said he sat back down, poured himself a drink. He said he get no sooner starts to touch his whiskey, he's getting all ready to go down and for the night out in the woods. And he said it startled him so badly that he spilled his drink. He heard a voice say, move your tent. And he said as soon it startled him, it was so loud and so powerful and demanding that he spilled his drink and then immediately got up and told his wife, we need to move the tent. And she said, what are you talking about? And he said, I don't know who is screaming at me, but we are moving the tent. So sure enough, they pulled up the stakes and moved it over to the other side. That night, they had a thunderstorm move in, and they heard a great big snap, crackle, pop. and a deafening noise, and a great big tree branch had fallen down directly where their tent had been. And he said from that point on, he never, ever, ever questioned. He knew it was his angel, period. And that it had been an angel coming in, and he just never had forgotten that. And that was probably 30 years ago. But I think he told me at the time it was probably 20 years ago. So it's been 30 years ago now that it's happened. And like I said, this is not a guy that you would picture of being particularly religious or anything like that. And I'm sure I would tell you something else. There's a lot more cuss words. It was much more colorful when he told his story, but it still, I got the point through, and he was amazed. Something that stayed with him this whole time.
Yeah, it does. And how incredible, right? When we're listening, we hear it. When we're so busy talking ourselves and having all that mind chatter, then it's not going to get through to us. But thank God the boys kept persisting, right? And letting him know that he needed to pay attention. And that's what happens a lot of times. Have you all ever had that nudge to do something kind of like that? You know, just whatever it might be, go here or call this person, or, you know, move to another part of the room or the town or whatever where you're at. And then there's a reason. Hindsight, you can look back and say, oh, that's why they told me to do that. Or if you call somebody and they're in distress, maybe they needed that voice at the other end of the line. That was the angels telling you to call them. Sometimes it's just they bring somebody to your memory. You just have this recollection of a friend or a loved one, and you're like, why am I thinking about that? I've done that so many times, just had somebody on my mind, and it's like, yeah, I really do need to reach out to them, and then I'll go on, and then it'll come back, and I'm like, oh, I really do need to text or call them. And then when I do, there was a reason for it. There was always, they were like, I needed to talk to you. So listen, that's number one, to get in closer communication with your angels. It's not so much talking as it is listening, because they're always communicating to us. And yes, there's things that we are aware of that we need. And so we ask for that. We ask for that angel to help us to do whatever, or to take care of our health or our finances or whatever is needed. But then that part of us has to be still and listen and allow them to work with us and work with our energy. So to me, that is the most important part of working with these angels, is listening to them. It's like listening to God. You know, so many times we want to complain and take all of our burdens and say, you know, please do this, please do that. Like it's Santa Claus, right? We're bringing up our wish list. But when we stop and we just listen for that response, miracles happen. And we're able to get the guidance we need. We're able to get exactly what we need when we put that energy out there, and then we be still. There's a quote from the Bible. It says, be still and know that I am God. And that is so important. And we miss that so much because we're thinking we have to keep talking, right? We have to keep those prayers going. We have to talk, when it's so much more important to listen, listen, listen. So to me, that's what I wanted to stress with this communication today, and the way they support us, and they're there for whatever our needs are. But we have to give them the chance to come in and work with us. It can't be all just one-sided, because communication is not one-sided. Communication goes both ways. And so when we listen and open up to what it is that they're showing us, then we can say, oh, now I see more clearly. Now I know this is the way I should go, or I should stop doing that, or, you know, find somebody to help me with this. It's all in the give and take. You know, we're giving our burdens, but then we have to take the answer that comes through as well. I want to thank you all so much for sharing from your hearts, and see if the ones that didn't share want to speak. Grace Isis, I saw you unmute. Would you like to share with us?
Oh, yes, I would. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. It's so wonderful to feel your energies and hear your stories. And thank you. So what happens with me, I drive a lot between New York and Boston. And it's so funny because I used to have a little BMW, and I would be speeding along. I love to drive. And I always used to say, I don't know why, but I used to say, angels, just put that invisible blanket over the car so I'm not stopped by those troopers. And I'd be zooming. And then I sold that. And recently I was gifted a Honda, an 8-seater. So it's a bigger car. It's a van. So whenever I start my journey, I always say, angels, we're on a journey. Let's go. And believe you me, the car is empty. It just has Gracie in there and my suitcase in the back. But it feels so heavy, as though I'm carrying a whole tribe. And I just feel it. I say, all right. And I realize everybody is in here. All the angels and even my guardians. And it really is very, very heavy. But as Teri said, if you listen, if you're quiet, and sometimes I don't even put any music, I'm just going, time to meditate. And boy, the other day there was just so much noise in the car. I'm like, what is everybody talking about? So I feel that with me, it's if you ask and you travel with faith and believe that you've asked, so you have been given. They will come if you ask, and they're always with me. And last night after chanting, I was coming down and I was getting close to the exit to get off at the Bronx, and there was a Tappan Zee bridge. And believe you me, you have to sometimes go with the traffic. So everybody's doing like 65. And all of a sudden, this pickup truck just came into my side. It would have just hit me in the left bumper, the left wheel. I would have spun. And I was calm. I just hooted and I'm like, what's wrong with him? But I knew my angels, the angels had actually buffed. You know, there was that little space in there. So that's what I do. I travel with them. I mean, I leave sometimes at 4 a.m., but they're always there with me, and we just have to ask. So thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Yes, they are always. You know, just on this last leg of my trip, there was one stretch of the interstate where there were speed traps set up. And I had given myself the time I needed to get from the hotel I was at to the meeting place where I was meeting someone. But I left 15 minutes later than what I had intended. So yes, I was a little heavy-footed on the gas, but something told me at one point to slow down. So I slowed down and pulled over and into the next lane and just was going a little slower than what I had been. And right after I did that, I mean, probably not even a minute after I did that, I saw the motorcycle cop on the side of the road with somebody pulled over. And then I saw there were like 4 more. There were 4 in a row. They had set up a speed trap. But I just got that message, pull over, slow down. And I did. And so if we listen, that's the thing. Hearing that nudge, I could have heard that nudge and said, I'm going to be late. I'm going to keep going while I'm going. I'm good. But they don't. Sometimes they help us by just nudging us and just giving us that thought of, you know what? Maybe look at your speedometer right now and pull over and slow down because there's a reason for it. And there's been many times when I was when I was planning on leaving at a certain time, but it ended up being a little later. And then I saw there was an accident. If I had left when I was going to, I would have been right in there in that accident. So they always help us by nudging and by giving us that thought. Whether we choose to listen to it or not, that's on us. but they are there giving those thoughts and that information. And I'm so grateful, very grateful that I'm aware of them. And that's the thing, we can, if we want to be closer to our angels, it's just a matter of being aware and paying attention to the signs and the nudges and the little whispers in the ear that say, slow down or move your tent or whatever that looks like. You know, they're there giving us that information.
And can I add something, Teri, please? I believe as well, we always have to have gratitude, because even when I do that, I actually also had an incident where I was driving in the winter, and it had snowed, and I had to be in New York at night, and it was so much snow, and 3 trucks. I had a big 18-wheeler behind me. and there were 2 in front of me, and what the angels showed me was follow the track, because it was snowing, and the tracks of the trailers cleared the snow. So that's how I went, and we were going very slow, and they got off. But I had to say every minute, you have to listen, and gratitude, because and be aware when they seem like, oh, this is wonderful, but it's them, they're miracles. So we have to say thank you. So I'm constantly saying thank you. So
Thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
That's an important point, and thank you for bringing that up. And it's important also to give gratitude before the event happens, before they've intervened, before they have led you to a point that you need to be at. Just give gratitude to the angels before you start out on a trip, or before you go into any endeavor and go to any event. Just say thank you for what you're going to bring to me, and give that gratitude ahead of time, because it makes a difference in doing that. I just want to say, Catherine, I'm sorry, go ahead, Christina.
No, I'm just going to say thanks for bringing that up, Grace Isis, because I was, just sitting here thinking of that, thinking I've always, when I'm running late and everything seems to be going like against me, and I'm just not understanding why I'm late, because I didn't start late. I started 10 minutes early, and yet everything I do seems to set me back. Sometimes I'm able to stop in the moment and just thank my angels for holding me up, because for all I know, it could be holding me up for 20 seconds to stop me from being involved in an accident that will never happen, and things like that that we're just not even aware of.
Yes.
So thank you for bringing that to our awareness.
Thank you.
I'd like to share something. Talking about that. The other day I was leaving work, and I was wondering, why is every time I'm about to leave, something always has to happen that sets me back, and I gotta sit here and finish this before I walk out, because I don't like to leave nothing left not done. So as I'm coming down the street, I'm at the stop sign, and it's my turn to turn, but I wouldn't turn. And I'm like, I have to turn. But I see this car coming, and it was coming like way too fast. Now here's a car coming this way and a car coming this way, and I'm here ready to turn. They're looking at me, and I beat the horn. For some reason, I had to beat the horn, and then they looked at me. And that's when they're looking at me, this older man's coming. He was having such a conversation in his car that he just went right through the stop sign. And if I would have left, that would have been me. And if because they stopped me, by me having to beep the horn and stop, froze them from going and saved all of us, because it would have been like a 3-car crash. And it was like, and I was like, oh, thank you. I'll never question why I'm always late getting out anymore.
That's great.
So yeah, that's that happened to me the other day and stuff.
I love these stories. Thank you all for sharing. And I'm so happy that Catherine's with us on Zoom. I did check in with her, and she's okay for now without sharing tonight. So we have reached the top of the hour, and what a great experience this has been together. I love this. I love that we can share our experiences and our faith and our trust in our spirit beings, whether it's angels, our spirit guides, our ancestors, or directly the source that created us. All of those experiences, they help us by listening to them. They help us for our faith to grow stronger. So I hope this has helped you today. And those of you that joined us virtually, thank you for being here with us tonight. And we'd love to have you come on to the Zoom. We're here Mondays at this time at 6 o'clock Eastern to talk about angels and talk about spirit. And you're more than welcome to find us and to come on with us. Thank you all for being here. Christina, thank you so much for what you brought tonight. I just love your presentations. You are such a wonderful teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
And all of you that shared, blessings to all of you. Thank you for sharing from your heart and for letting us see that piece of how the angels worked in your life. So appreciated. So we're going to get off of here. And the way we end our shows is with a
Namaste.
y'all.
all.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.